how do you make decisions to ensure projects authentically address both content areas?
I think the thing that's worked best for us is, as we're thinking about projects, starting with that community connection. It's been really important for our kids to see a real world example or a real world connection to why these projects are important, and that has made all the difference for us with buy-in with the kids. One of our projects was for our students to come up with a solution to the goose poop problem at a local park. There's a lot of events held there, and the park was being overrun with feces, and so we found a way to talk about biology standards and English standards and have the kids solve that problem, and actually brought in community members to listen to their solutions, and I think that's been probably one of the most engaging projects for the kids.
I think that by having a community member come in as part of our entry document, it just set the stage that, wow, a community member needs me to do something for them. And so then when you ask them to do a writing piece or, you know, tie in this or create a pamphlet or create a video, there's a lot more authenticity to it and a lot more buy-in. Like, I had expected them to go, what? We have to look at goose poop? And they weren't, because that community member came to them and said, hey, this is a real problem in our community and we need your help. And so when we asked them to put something together to present to them, they wanted it done right. And so they really did put a lot of effort into it.
It really made some buy-in for both ends. So, you know, learning about the life cycle of the goose and researching the different methods and how it would infect the environment, they really wanted to know they were getting it right because they had to go in front of important people in the community. Same thing with they wrote proposals and they gave presentations. So we hit lots of school-wide learning outcomes, but for each piece there was that authentic experience, so there was a lot of buy-in from the kids.
I think taking the time to do a good post-evaluation of a project with the kids, they're very insightful. They'll tell you the areas that they think that there was an overlap. You can even say, like, did you feel like you covered this standard? And they're like, no, or yeah. And, you know, we asked them for how would you like us to improve second semester? And they had some really good, like, critically well thought out suggestions that weren't just, you know, more movies. That wasn't even brought up. No. I was really proud of the suggestions that they had for improvement. And I think part of that is that authenticity. It's that real world aspect. Sometimes the kids are like, well, I feel like we're not learning anything. And, you know, I went over the review for the semester exam for biology, and I said, you know, other than maybe these 2 or 3 small questions, do you feel like you were at least exposed and aware and had a chance to work with that content? And for the most part, they said yes. So
I think, too, our community members who have interacted with our kids have been really impressed with their content knowledge, with their writing, with their communication skills, especially as freshmen who have just come into this program. They don't always realize, I think, how well they're doing with those different school-wide learning outcomes.